Arnab Goswami on The Debate at 9. Presented by Amity University. Powered by RP Sanjeev Goenka Group, Century Ply and JK Tires.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome. The decision of the Gujarat government to free Bilkis Bano's rapists is not just morally and ethically wrong, it mutilates the very concept of justice. And I'm shocked that in a country that came together to fight for Nirbhaya 10 years back, there is pin-drop silence from so many. I'm horrified also that political parties with one eye on the Gujarat elections are not ready to speak out openly on it, especially not in Gujarat. The images of Bilkis Bano's rapists being garlanded and greeted and honored. Look at those pictures, viewers. And given sweets outside the jail in Godhra, as if the act of rape and murder is something that we should celebrate. These pictures are as reprehensible as the images of former minister and BJP leader Jayant Sinha garlanding lynchers in Jharkhand a few years back. Any form of appeasement is bad. So speak up, viewers. Appeasing lynchers is bad. Appeasing rapists and murderers and killers of a 3-year-old child is unacceptable. The 11 accused of raping Bilkis are also responsible for killing her young daughter. And they need to be made to feel responsible for life, for what they did. As a society, as a nation, and as a people, we cannot call the rapists men of good character, good sanskar, like the BJP MLA who was part of the committee that signed the release order has done. Are we going to be quiet about it? Viewers, as a nation, we are at the crossroads. We need to take a position not on the basis of short-term political convenience, but on the fundamental basis of what is right and what is wrong. And to make convicted rapists and murderers heroes just out of hate or spite is wrong, and it is not acceptable in a civilized society. And I tonight call upon all responsible voices in this nation, and with all humility, I call upon the Supreme Court of India to intervene in this case. Because, as all the honorable lordships would know, the Gujarat government has not decided to support the rapists and murderers on the basis of a sense of justice, but by using a legal technical loophole and adding to that its own sense of discretionary power. But viewers, even discretionary power has its limits. And I would argue this discretionary power that the Gujarat government has applied, or rather forced upon all of us, has to be subject to the test of legal precedent, societal precedent. What precedent are we setting as a country by setting Bilkis as rapists and these murderers of a 3-year-old child free? My dear viewers of Republic, I can also argue tonight from the prism of humanity. But tonight I ask all of you, whatever your ideological views, your political views, does it not hurt our country? Does it not hurt our country if this precedent is not challenged, if this precedent is not overturned? And viewers, therefore, I call upon our collective conscience. Ladies and gentlemen, let's call upon our collective conscience. Let's challenge this I'm debating this at 10 p.m. tonight, and I'm debating on behalf of all of us tonight. There has to be justice for Bilkis Bano. Rapists cannot be appeased. Ladies and gentlemen, at 9 o'clock tonight, my first debate. Accept the fact Veer Savarkar has been one of the greatest sons of this country, and he should be celebrated and not demonized. And debate number 3 tonight. What is being described as Dolocate? If you've been prescribed Dolo 650, you'd be very concerned, as millions are today, that there was a lot of money, hundreds and thousands of crores being spent on trying to promote this drug. Is that ethical? Have you been affected? All this and more, and here are the headlines. This Thursday evening on the debate tonight. From Karnataka to Kerala, storm over the Veer Savarkar posters goes national. Congress, which questioned Savarkar posters, faces a big backlash. Leaders face black flags as more Savarkar posters are put up.
सिक्योरिटी का बहुत बड़ा इश्यू है, क्योंकि वो लोग जब पैरल पे आते थे, जो पैरल पे आके घर पे आते थे, तब भी हमको डर था, वो थोड़ा था, अब ज़्यादा बढ़ गया है कि आप हम आगे का भविष्य कैसे तय करेंगे बच्चों के साथ.
Shock across India as the Bilkis Bano rape convicts are freed after 14 years and then garlanded and felicitated in Gujarat. 1,000 crore freebies for doctors who prescribed Dolo 650. We need a pill to battle Dologate tonight. Pandemic used to profiteer were doctors forced to prescribe Dolo 650. Even Supreme Court judges are shocked.
कोरियन नेवी की बोट आसपास थी. उस कोरियन नेवी के शिप ने इन सभी लोगों को रेस्क्यू किया.
And how did a yacht carrying AK-47s reach Raigad in Maharashtra, the Raigad shore, almost 50 days after a distress call? How did nobody notice it until today? Big mystery, breaking story tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, a political campaign to run down Veer Savarkar's legacy and anyone who celebrates him. Whether it is with posters or a little child dressing up as Savarkar on Independence Day. Tonight, this campaign against Savarkar has to be busted. It's becoming a big controversy. It started in Karnataka, it's going to Kerala, other parts of the country. But the bottom line I would only say is this before I bring you the news report. Why so much intolerance towards Savarkar? Why should there be so much unilateralism in the way we look upon our freedom fighters, our heroes? Ladies and gentlemen, why so much intolerance? Let's debate.
Veer Savarkar has become a subject of national debate. While some are praying and paying tribute to him, others are ripping up his posters with aggression. And others still are taking to the streets against Savarkar. Those like AIMIM chief Asaduddin Owaisi have used it as an opportunity to play politics on a freedom hero.
जस्टिस कपूर कमीशन की रिपोर्ट पढ़िए. जस्टिस कपूर कमीशन की रिपोर्ट में सावरकर को गांधी की हत्या में एक मुजरिम करार दिया है कि उनका इन्वॉल्वमेंट था.
And then there is the Vadra Congress, which makes statements like this. Only to face backlash with Savarkar posters being flung into Siddaramaia's car. Amid the politics and polarization, there is an attempt to play down the rich legacy of Veer Savarkar.
A man who has given the total life for the country. Not only he himself, the total family, including his brothers, who dedicated for the sake of the country, for the unity of the country, for the welfare of the country.
Veer Savarkar spent over a decade in the harshest circumstances in his struggle for a free India. Those outraged by Savarkar posters are the same that celebrate Jinnah and Tukde Tukde slogans. It is time that Veer Damodar Savarkar gets his due in India's story. Let's debate.
I welcome Gaurav Bhatia, Yogesh Saman, who's an actor and writer, Shantanu Gupta, well-known political analyst and author, PKD Nambiar, well-known political analyst, Tausif Ahmed Khan, advocate and political analyst, Vikraman, who's from the DMK ally VCK, Abdul Razak Khan, political analyst, and Sabir Siddharth Ghafar, who's the president of the All India Minority Council. And I want to start with you. You see, Mr. Ghafar, the more one demonizes Savarkar, the more people of India will get to know about him, and the more people of India will celebrate him. And the more people of India get to know about him, the more they will ask why people like you or Abdul Razak or Vikraman or Tausif are demonizing him. Because the more people will get to know the truth about Savarkar, the more they will question your intolerance towards Savarkar. And I say, what's wrong? What's wrong if a child dresses up as Savarkar on Independence Day? Why? If you can dress up as Mahatma Gandhi, why can't you dress up as Savarkar? If you can dress up as Netaji, why can't you dress up as Savarkar? If you can dress up as Bhagat Singh, why can't you dress up as Savarkar? And the same intolerance was shown towards Udham Singh also in the past. For anyone who does not follow the Congress line has to be demonized. So Abdul Razak, I didn't ask you, but go ahead.
There is absolutely no comparison. There is no comparison between Gandhi and Savarkar. Don't compare.
I would like to say
people dress up like Gandhi because Gandhi is father of the nation.
I would like to say, why celebrate a controversial political thinker?
No comparison.
I would like to say that why celebrate a controversial political thinker? It is not that we have a problem with Mr. V. The problem was with his brand of Hindu nationalism, which advocated the Muslims and the Christians as outsiders. We have a problem with his advocacy of unequal citizenship. No. We have a problem with his anti-Muslim and anti-Christian politics. We have a problem with his advocacy of violence in everyday life.
Okay, I want to. Okay. Let Sabir complete. Yogesh, let Sabir complete. Yogesh, let Sabir complete. Let Sabir complete his initial remarks. Yogesh, let him complete his initial remarks.
Can you show me one specific instance? Can you show? Okay.
Continue, Sabir.
Can you show me one specific instance where Veer Savarkar has spoken about the unity of the country along with his Muslims and Christians, where Mr. Veer Savarkar has celebrated the pluralism of this country? On the contrary, Mr. Veer Savarkar has spoken about one religion, one thought, one language. This is contrary to my idea of India. This is contrary to my
Yogesh, 1 minute. Yogesh, Sabir, have you completed? Yogesh is countering you. Yours, the debate is open. I'll come to you after that, Gaurav. Yogesh.
जी उन्होंने जो हिंदुत्व की व्याख्या दी है वो इन लोगों ने पढ़ी ही नहीं है। उन्होंने कभी भी मुस्लिम्स और क्रिश्चियनिटी के बारे में कहा नहीं थे। वो कहते थे कि इस देश को अपनी मातृभूमि मानने वाला ही हिंदू है। वो मुस्लिम हो, क्रिश्चियन हो, सिख हो, कोई भी हो, जो इस देश को अपनी मातृभूमि पितृभूमि मानता है वो हिंदू है। ये सावरकर की हिंदुत्व की व्याख्या है, ये इन लोगों ने पढ़ी ही नहीं है। ये लोग ऐसे ही उसे पॉलिटिकल इशू बना रहे हैं, बाकी कुछ नहीं है। अब बताइए कि अगर इनकी इतनी व्यापक व्याख्या होती है तो वो ऐसे कैसे कर सकते हैं कि क्रिश्चियनिटी और मुस्लिम के विरोध में बोलेंगे?
Okay, viewers, can I open the debate? Thank you very much.
हिंदुत्व की व्याख्या पहले पढ़ी।
In the start of the debate, Yogesh ji, thank you. Yogesh ji, thank you. I'm going to come back to you.
Please give me a chance.
Razak, before I give you a chance, will you please give me a chance? Do I get a chance from you? Thank you.
Please.
Now, at the start of the debate,
yes, definitely.
thank you. At the start of the debate, the president of the All India Minority Council Sabir Siddharth Ghaffar says, can you show me any instance when he's spoken for the country? Tausif, I shall come to you. Now, please listen to me. Sabir, you have been fed completely corrupted and false information by the Congressy historians, and unfortunately for you, you have swallowed it without thinking. There are two crimes here. The bigger crime, Sabir, is the crime of feeding you the wrong information. But as Shantanu, who is joining the debate, will agree with me, equally culpable is the crime of accepting the falsehood and vomiting it, regurgitating it on national television. Savarkar fought for equality for all Indians regardless of religion. Savarkar fought for it with all his heart. Savarkar said in 1937, he said, in his speech at the Hindu Mahasabha, he said, we can form an Indian state in which no one is allowed any special weightage of representation. In other words, I can prove to you that Savarkar said Hindus should not get more rights than Muslims, but he also said Muslims cannot get greater representation than Hindus. Now, if you had not read the corrupted falsehood of Congressy history, you would not have vomited that on national television. And people like you ought to all apologize for demonizing Savarkar with these utterances of falsehoods.
Here in 1996, page 89, ban Muslims in military, police and public service.
Pension, you say that he fought for the country. First tell me one thing, was he on British pension or no? He was on British pension. He wrote mercy petitions. And at the end of the mercy petition, he wrote, your obedient servant.
One minute.
Did he not prove his obedience?
One minute.
Did he not
One minute.
show his obedience?
One minute.
मतलब ये नहीं कि उन्होंने देश के लिए फाइट नहीं किया।
Okay, 1 minute. Yogesh, thank you. Yogesh, thank you. Thank you, viewers. Thank you, viewers. I'd like to get at this stage. I'm getting at this stage PKD and Gaurav on the side. As you know, I've opened today with Abdul Razak and Sabir. I must equalize the debate and you will all listen to me. See, it is not your problem. You see, there is a 53-year-old adolescent called Rahul Gandhi. He has fed you this theory. Rahul Gandhi's vision of history has been soaked in and is being vomited by you, Abdul Razak. You don't know anything about Savarkar. I'm compelled to educate you. You are saying Savarkar repeatedly kept apologizing to the British. 1 minute, just 1 minute, viewers. This lie has to be busted as well. Will you allow me the opportunity of busting that lie? Or will you censor me? Razak, you know Rahul Gandhi's intellectual depth and abilities. I don't need to tell you about it, so don't vomit out what Rahul Gandhi has taught you.
Each and every
and now
is available for you to
and now
read.
I'll tell you, viewers.
You have to dig it out.
I'll tell you. Now, Razak, will you be quiet?
60 rupees was the pension pay.
Razak, will you be quiet? Will you be quiet?
No.
Now I'll tell you something. And PKD is on the debate. I'll set this historical aspect right and then hand it over to Gaurav. The debate will be on after that. Who says, first of all, viewers, who says that Savarkar said, I will touch the feet of the British Viceroy and remain an obedient servant? I will keep touching the feet of the British. Who has fed this rubbish? It is, Gaurav Bhatia, please note, it is all the one and only greatest intellectual of India called Rahul Gandhi. The person who said almost all freedom fighters were NRIs, including Mahatma Gandhi and Nehru and everyone. So you go and believe that history. What is the truth? The truth is that in 1913, along with making bombs while being jailed, in 1913, Savarkar wrote to the British, he only said, you need to give everybody humane treatment. His letter was very sarcastic. He was questioning whether Britain is a civilized country. and the exact words were the following. PKD and Gaurav, please note. He said, I will complete the thing, and I don't need any audio disturbance at this point. He said, can I stop those? Can you stop making these sounds behind me? If your only argument is to make sounds, Razak, that's not, what is this form of, sound making that you're practicing on my program? Can we speak with some intellectual depth? Thank you. He said, as a political prisoner, he said, PKD, even that could have been expected in any civilized administration or an independent country in the world. In other words, Savarkar was only telling the British. And he wrote to the British, and I think that's a very brave letter, very straightforwardly said. And I'm quoting now, viewers. He says, I am not asking for any preferential treatment. Look at the words, PKD. Savarkar writes to the British and he says, I don't want any preferential treatment. Though I believe as a political prisoner, which he was, even that could have been expected in any civilized administration in the independent nations of the world. That was his language. Today, so I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry at the lie that has been repeated by Rahul Gandhi, who says, with folded hands, I will touch British feet if you release me from prison. That's a colossal lie that only Abdul Razak can accept as a truth, viewers. Never accept that lie. PKD, over to you. The debate is on. PKD, over to you. The debate is on. PKD, ladies and gentlemen, at this part of the debate. PKD. PKD is on at this part of the debate. I would request Abdul Razak not to interrupt right now. Thank you very much. You've spoken already. Thank you, sir. No heckling to be allowed. Please change on the screen. Thank you.
Arnab, you are making a big mistake today. How can you take the name of Veer Savarkar and Rahul Gandhi at the same time in the same sentence? That is an injustice to the Veer Savarkar, the Veer Putra of this country. One. And now forget about the before 1947 and that standard pseudo-secular left liberal media created a kind of a Hippocratic narrative about Veer Savarkar, because even today when they hear about the name of Veer Savarkar, they are afraid of that particular name. But one thing I wanted to ask the Congress and the pseudo-seculars today, that in the 1966, the Congress was in government. Why who had that time issued a stamp on Veer Savarkar? If he was not the great son of this country, why the Congress government then was issued a stamp on by the Indira Gandhi on Veer Savarkar? One. Number two, if he was not a great son of this country, why Indira Gandhi was ready to make a documentary film on Veer Savarkar, portraying him as the great hero of this country? Why, even the third point of mine, why there was a personal grant? The way the personal
Tausif, after him, please. Tausif, after him, I'll come to you. Tausif, after him, please. Tausif, after. Let PKD complete. Tausif, please. Tausif, let PKD complete, please.
Our country has produced.
Let PKD complete, please. I request you, let PKD complete, please.
Start crumbling down. The pseudo-seculars start crumbling down, even hearing the word Veer. Forget about the entire name of Savarkar. That is the kind of impact the Veer Savarkar has got for the Indian community. All those people who believe in India, all those people who believe in the Bharat, all those people who believe that it is a nation of patriots, they will all be voting for.
Okay, viewers, on this big Savarkar debate. Okay, 1 minute. First of all, viewers, we don't need to get so excited that we speak over each other completely. Sabir, at the end of this debate, you will thank me for educating you. And PKD, no, it's not going to be one last point. Please listen to me. Let's be disciplined. Let's be disciplined. Thank you very much. Thank you. Tausif, 1 minute, please. Tausif, will you?
Shakha version distorted history. Shakha version of history, distorted history that you are teaching to others. Savarkar was a coward. He begged for mercy from British. And there were son of soil who laid down their life.
Why would you accept history from
Savarkar?
Why not?
Two on the debate, only Tausif and Gaurav at this point. Thank you very much. Tausif and Gaurav, please, on the debate. Thank you. Two on the debate right now. Thank you very much, everyone, please. 2 windows on the screen. We will take the debate forward. Calm down, PKD, please wait. Please wait. Please. I know you all have strong opinions, so do I. The point right now is, it's not so much about the lies about Savarkar, Gaurav. What are we debating tonight? We are debating the insecurity about Savarkar. Because there is a growing realization in this country that if the truth about this brave son of India, described even by Indira Gandhi as a remarkable son of India,
according to
described even by Indira Gandhi as a remarkable son of India comes out, there is a fear that he may completely overshadow. He may allow me to complete what I'm saying. Please allow me, Tausif. Tausif, I'll tell you what.
Tausif's definition of brave, you're calling brave. Your definition of brave is one who writes mercy petition, defeating the national movement, going against the Bapu.
Okay, I'll tell you one thing. Okay, now you and I, listen, Tausif, you don't try to define me, okay? Okay. Don't try to define me. I am questioning you on fact. I'm questioning you on fact, and my view, one line, and then Gaurav, I'm handing it over to you. Viewers, as you listen to this debate, Gaurav, one line. There is a feeling in this country, and I'll tell you why this is happening. I'll tell you why this is happening, Gaurav. One line, then the debate is over between you and the others. The reason this is happening is because if the truth about Savarkar comes out, then he will overshadow people like Nehru. What did Nehru do? He said, I don't care about the feelings of the people of this country, and 5-6 years after independence, went there without any spine to stand there and salute the British royalty at the coronation of Queen Elizabeth. And he said, viewers, this is historical fact, he said, I don't care about what the people of India think, it doesn't matter. I'm going to be there with the British royalty after our independence. And there is a feeling that if the truth about Savarkar and Netaji and others were to be coming out, then people like Nehru would be overshadowed, which should be the case. Gaurav Bhatia, this controversy is also happening before the Karnataka election. Is it only an opportunistic act by the BJP to bring the Savarkar issue up? Thank you.
Nehru would be overshadowed by.
Thank you. Gaurav Bhatia is on the debate. Thank you. I'm requesting, please. Tausif has spoken. We can change the window. Thank you. Gaurav Bhatia, please. This is taking my time on the debate. This is taking my time on the debate. Thank you.
You know, ask him to be quiet. Please ask him to be quiet. I think he should extend the courtesy to us also. Please. First of all, Arnab, very unequivocally, very clearly, I would say one thing. Today, people who are giving certificates to Veer Savarkar ji are not even a speck on his shoes. उनके पैरों के जूते की धूल नहीं है जो सर्टिफिकेट दे रहे हैं. And I will now give you some facts. Do you think Veer Savarkar ji is not a hero and still our parliament has a portrait of him? And do you know who unveiled this portrait in the parliament? Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam as the then president. Arnab, if Veer Savarkar ji was a person who didn't believe in the ethos of our secularism, our constitution, why would a person like Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam unveil his portrait? Second, why would we have an airport under his name in Port Blair? Why would Indira Gandhi write a letter in 1980 and say this about him? Veer Savarkar's daring defiance of the British government has its own important place in the annals of our freedom movement. Rahul Gandhi, you should read what Indira Gandhi said. How many Indians during the freedom struggle can say that they spent 10 years in jail, and Arnab, they met their family members only once. 2 काले पानी की सजा हुई. And I must say, I'm most offended. Do you know why? Because somebody on your panel, Arnab, said that how can these people have a controversial political thinker? First of all, please chup ho jaiye. Please chup ho jaiye.
Sabir, let him complete. I'll come to you.
Now I want to say, if Arnab, if they choose their heroes as Burhan Wani, har ghar mein Afzal niklega, Yaqub Memon, that is fine. If we say har ghar mein Veer Savarkar hai, har dil mein Veer Savarkar ji hai, to inko dard hota hai. Which hero is better? Second, it is my right, Arnab. It is my right. No, ye chup karaiye.
At the
Please,
end of
Arnab,
it,
one
you
minute,
might
one minute,
be
one minute,
an
one minute, one minute.
servant.
यहाँ पे
One minute,
ऐसे
Gaurav, one
लोगों
minute,
को
Gaurav, one
मनी
minute, Gaurav, one minute, one minute, Gaurav and Razak, let me handle this. Razak, you have to speak when he's speaking.
Me and
Can you
my
wait for
team
him?
very clearly written.
Razak, can you let him complete, please? Because he came in
I
after.
waited for him.
can I come in?
I
Just
waited
one
for
minute.
him.
I can see two challenges to Gaurav. Do I now allow the challenges? Do I allow Gaurav to complete? Because to be fair, Sabir, you're going on. Okay, Sabir is challenging. I'm allowing the challenge. Sabir is countering you, Gaurav. I'm allowing the counter from Sabir of the All India
could he
Minority
say that?
Council.
Allow me to-
No, 1 minute. I will allow you,
Arnab,
but the intervention has already happened. Sabir is countering you. Sabir, 1 minute. I ask you to begin all over again. What is your counter to Gaurav Bhatia? What is your counter to Gaurav Bhatia? Go on.
Burhan Wani is not my hero. Burhan Wani or Yaqub Memon is not my hero. My hero is Maulana Abul Kalam Azad. My hero is Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar. My hero is Dr. Mahatma Gandhi. Just because I choose to disagree with Veer Savarkar, just because I choose
I
not
have a
to
question
impose
for
him
you.
as my national
Is
hero,
Netaji
that
your
doesn't
hero?
mean that
I'm
you
asking
associate
you.
me
Please do not
with a
shout.
terrorist.
You interrupted me in between. I'm asking you one question.
Sabir, you're getting a counter. Sabir, one minute. Gaurav, wait. Let him complete. Let him wait. Gaurav, wait. Let him complete. Let him complete, Gaurav. Sabir, have you completed? Sabir, have you completed?
By disagreeing with Veer Savarkar,
Have you completed?
I do not become a less Indian.
It's all right.
Kashmir is an integral part of my country. How could he associate a terrorist with me? I demand an apology. I demand an apology.
That's Sabir Siddharth Ghaffar of the All India Minority Council demanding an apology from Gaurav Bhatia. You made your point. It was not a question. Gaurav wanted to respond to you. Gaurav.
Yes. I will ask a question to my friend first, and then I will continue with my point. I have this question. Do you respect Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose? Just answer yes or no. Is he your hero?
Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose is our hero. As a Bengali and as an Indian, I have my...
Okay,
fullest
now be
respect for
quiet now.
Netaji
Let me
Subhash
complete
Chandra
my
Bose,
point.
And I need
Please.
not answer
I said
this on
yes or no,
national
so
Okay,
television.
Sabir,
heard
he
you. Now
countered
listen
you.
to me.
Yeah, let him complete. Yes, please.
Please listen now. Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, Arnab, praised Veer Savarkar ji's contribution. So that answers it all, but I have a fundamental problem with the arguments that have been framed. In this democracy, we won the right to select our heroes. I can select mine and you can select yours. We have to coexist. Why do you say that these people are choosing the wrong hero? Would you tell us who the right hero and the wrong hero is? Where is my right to select my hero? And when you select your heroes as Afzal Guru, hum sharminda hai, tere qatil zinda hai, you have the right. But I do not have the right to choose Veer Savarkar as the hero. And who's a coward, Arnab? एक मिनट चुप हो जाइए आप अपनी बारी में लीजिएगा प्लीज Arnab, please ask him to be quiet.
Okay, viewers, now, one minute. This point being made about association with the British, this point being made about association with the British, Vikraman, 1 minute. I have Pushpendra Kulshresht, who is a well-known journalist, columnist and writer. While listening to the debate, he wanted to make a point, so I'm taking an intervention. Pushpendra ji, you wanted to say something. You're watching this debate live. Many things are being said about Savarkar. What is it that you wanted to add, sir?
एक ही बात ऐड करनी है अर्नब कि कैबिनेट मिशन प्लान जब 1946 में आया तो जो लोग वीर सावरकर को बार बार माफी मांगी चिट्ठी लिखी उनके सामने एक फैक्ट रखना चाहता हूं कि जवाहरलाल नेहरू ने सितंबर 1946 में लूज माइंड बैटन के कहने पर जो उन्हें शपथ दिलाई गई, यूनियन जैक के प्रति उन्होंने अपनी आस्था जताई, उन्होंने रानी के प्रति अपनी आस्था जताई, तब वो किसके प्रति आस्था जता रहे थे जब प्रधानमंत्री की शपथ ले रहे थे और माउंटबेटन को शपथ दिला रहे थे और यूनियन जैक के सामने ले रहे थे और क्वीन को आस्था अपनी निष्ठा प्रकट कर रहे थे, तो किसने माफी मांगी और किसने प्रधानमंत्री बने?
मैं इस पे पुष्पेंद्र जी इस पे मैं और एक उदाहरण देना चाहता हूं जो थोड़ा कंट्रोवर्शियल होगा, बट मुझे सबके सामने रखने की जरूरत है उसको. Viewers, to the point on Pushpendra Kulshresht raising questions, Shantanu, about why was Savarkar collaborating with the British, which he never did. This word collaboration is used like that. The fact of the matter is, that I would not say that would I completely make a stereotype of Gandhiji, because the fact is, Shantanu, and the fact is that while the Congress attacks Savarkar, it fails to mention how Gandhi had worked with the British and won a gold medal for loyalty from the British during the Boer Wars in South Africa. This is a historical reality. It is a historical reality that Gandhiji had organized medical corps to help the British during the Boer Wars in South Africa. And he had been given a medal for his work in the Boer War. Now, should I use that example to say that Gandhi worked against India's interest? Think about it. You see, we want to read half history, it's not my problem. But nobody wants to read the complete history on Savarkar. Now see, everybody is quiet when I gave that example on Gandhi. Yes, please, go ahead, Shantanu. Shantanu, after that, Vikraman, ladies and gentlemen, debate is on. Shantanu.
Arnab, whenever we discuss about Veer Savarkar, we hear this vague argument of mercy petition multiple times. I request all of these people to read work by Vikram Sampath, Uday Mahankar, Dhananjay Keer, whoever they can read, right? Those time, I think, what you want, a Veer Savarkar revolutionary like Veer Savarkar inside the jail or outside the jail. There was a particular format to write a mercy petition. He wrote the mercy petition not for himself, for all the people who were there in Kalapani that time. He was so dreaded by British that there was a mark of D on his clothes. He was given 2 terms. Can you imagine 50 years of jail? And I think it breaks my heart to hear anything about Veer Savarkar in any country. Someone like Veer Savarkar, I'm sure these people also who are bad-mouthing Veer Savarkar, don't know what kind of hard life he and his contemporaries lived in those 10 years.
He wrote it for all the inmates.
He has written letters on behalf of all the inmates. In fact, one of the letters, which I also quoted in one book, he said, if you don't want to release me, release all the inmates. There are multiple letters. There was a particular format of the letter. They are just for taking the liberty. There were a particular format and the language of the letter that time. They are just taking the liberty to use that language.
The problem is, you see, you want to, by the way, first of all, point is, this is a standard tactic of this lobby. You want to bring all of Veer Savarkar's contribution and sacrifice, personal sacrifice for the country, and bring it down to a letter. And you want the intellectual giant called the 53-year-old adolescent to say that Veer Savarkar said that I will touch the British feet, and then you want to quote the historian Rahul Gandhi as the final word. Why don't you read the letter? Do you know what is in the letter? In his petition to Cradock, viewers, Veer Savarkar had mocked the British on their claims of being a civilized nation, to highlight the inhuman treatment of prisoners at Kalapani. He was fighting for all the prisoners at Kalapani. And you think, Vikraman, what do you know? You know nothing. The problem with you is, Vikraman, 1 minute. Vikraman, for you, the word of Rahul Gandhi is the word of God. Now listen to me.
I'm daring you here. If you have guts, let me talk.
No, the problem is you don't know anything, so I'm teaching you history.
No, Arnab,
1 minute,
I know everything. I know more than what do you know, Arnab. In 1913 mercy petition, from his own words, Mr. Savarkar has said, the mighty alone can afford to be merciful, and therefore, where else can the prodigal son return but to the parental doors of the government? Is this not Mr. Veer Savarkar's letter? How could you call him a Veer Savarkar?
Okay,
I'm also quoting Dr. B.R. Ambedkar's statement. Somebody called Gaurav Bhatia was saying Subhash Chandra Bose was referring to Savarkar something and something. I want him to go read Dr. B.R. Ambedkar's Pakistan and Partition of India, in which he's saying it is designed to serve 2 purposes, which Mr. Savarkar has in view. First, to exclude from it Muslims, Christians, Parsis and Jews, prescribing the recognition of India as holy land as a qualification of being a
Arnab,
Hindu.
allow me, please. I don't want to
include
interrupt him, but
Buddhists,
give me my time,
Jains,
please.
Sikhs, etc. by not insisting upon belief in the sanctity of the Vedas as
Arnab
relevant
ji,
to the
ये जो बोल रहे हैं,
How
वो
can it call
I-
this
के सामान्य
Yogesh.
मानसिकता के बारे में बोल रहे हैं।
एक मिनट, just 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. Yogesh, wait a minute. Yogesh, wait a minute. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute.
How can you place this
Vikraman,
portrait in the
Vikraman,
parliament?
Vikraman.
Opposite to
Vikraman,
Mahatma
if you're
Gandhi,
finished,
the
if you, I need a moment, I need a
Vikraman
moment.
गलत बोल
1
रहे
minute,
हैं,
not
वो
Yogesh
तोड़
right
मरोड़
now.
के
Thank
बोल
you.
रहे हैं।
Vikraman, 1 minute, please. Vikraman, listen to me. Your volume is low. You need to listen to me for a minute, please. You need to listen to me for a minute. It is our responsibility as India's leading news network to tell the people the truth. And Vikraman, I don't take any pleasure in saying you don't know anything. But that is as much,
Sir,
a contemporary fact.
Lower my volume. Let me talk. You don't let me talk and you call me. I don't know. I'm quoting everything from the written text, the literature. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. You're calling B.R. Ambedkar knows nothing.
You haven't read anything.
You're calling B.R. Ambedkar knows
आपने कुछ
nothing.
भी
How
पढ़ा
dare
नहीं
you
है,
could do
उनके
that?
स्टेटमेंट तोड़ मरोड़ के
You
आप
know
बोल रहे
somebody's
हो।
volume
ऐसा
and you
कहा
talk
नहीं था
nonsense
उन्होंने।
and stupid in the national television.
Okay, now,
and call somebody doesn't know anything.
I will
What
have
kind
to
of a
get,
television debate
I will
is
have to
this?
get PKD and Gaurav on one side. Thank you, Yogesh. I don't want to add to that. Yogesh, wait a minute. I want PKD and Gaurav on one side. Please, viewers, I need a moment. I need 4 windows on the screen. I will not speak till I have them. I am speaking to PKD and Gaurav on one side and Vikraman and Sabir on the other. And I am demanding a 1 minute rebut. For some things have been said about me tonight. And there's no problem. The problem is, PKD, what happens if in this country anyone speaks the truth, you invite this kind of a response. And what do people like Vikraman get? They will get 2 tweets, 5 retweets, 6 anonymous people who know nothing
Go
about
check my
anything,
Twitter
know
page.
even less than
I
you
can
will
go to
praise
what
you,
your channel
and then you will
Twitter
feel
page
very good about it. But I will respond to you with substance, which you don't have. Now, fact of the matter is, viewers, did you know that Savarkar's book on the freedom struggle became a mandatory reading for the troops of the Indian National Army of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose? Is there an answer on why that
Sir,
was?
I'm
No.
talking
1
about
minute, 1
Dr.
minute, 1
B.R.
minute.
Ambedkar.
1 minute. Just be quiet,
I'm
volume a
talking
little
about
low
Dr.
because
B.R.
it is my turn to speak. My turn to speak. My turn to speak. And people say, what was his contribution to the freedom struggle? Ladies and gentlemen, he was jailed in the most torturous conditions in Kalapani. And he was teaching the fellow prisoners, he was fighting with them, teaching them to read and write. And then another lie is told, Gaurav, which we must settle. They say he is the person behind the killing of Gandhiji. What a lie. What an absolute lie. What a falsehood. And unlike you, I take these falsehoods on. I will say one thing, viewers, one thing. The Congress blames Savarkar for conspiring to kill Gandhi. What liars in the Congress party. Justice Atma Charan, presiding over the Godse case, acquitted Savarkar of all conspiracy charges. But do we expect a 53-year-old who does not know anything, the ABC of India's contemporary history, to know about it? In fact, the British official who visited the cellular jail said the following. He said, Savarkar cannot be said to express any regret or repentance. It's a historical fact. Now, will they have an answer to that? No. Absolutely not. And that is why I am saying tonight, PKD, 1 minute, I want to go to Gaurav who's been waiting. If someone can dress up as Gandhiji on Independence Day, then anyone can dress up as Savarkar also. Gaurav Bhatia is on the debate. It's a hot debate tonight. Gaurav.
You know, Arnab, the parallel that is being drawn is Mahatma Gandhi ji greater or Veer Savarkar ji, and you can only have one hero, is completely misplaced. Because I think Indians stand for respecting their heroes, and every Indian can have Mahatma Gandhi ji as well as Veer Savarkar ji, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose ji, Sardar Patel as their hero. It's not like we have to only select one. Second, somebody called him a coward. I would only say, spending 10 years in jail, and that too under such tough circumstances, is being a coward, or giggling with Edwina Mountbatten. Who's a coward, you tell me? Third, you know, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose spoke very positively about Veer Savarkar ji, and I gave example of Dr. APJ
Why
Abdul
nobody is
Kalam.
talking about it? What Dr. Ambedkar spoke?
Please relax.
Do you have any
Please,
guts to talk about it?
I don't
Dr.
want to be rude to
Ambedkar
you.
spoke
बदतमीजी
something
मत
very
करिए.
important.
बदतमीजी मत करिए. ये खुद में दिखाता है. ये खुद में दिखाता है कि यहाँ हाफिज सैयद का भाई बैठा है. बदतमीजी मत करिए. I heard you. And you should also have the patience to hear us.
Why not also dress up as
Why can't you be quiet?
Why not also dress up as them?
नहीं, वीर सावरकर जी की तरह ड्रेसअप होंगे. जो आप कर सके कर लीजिए. It is my democratic right. If you understand this language, I will speak in your language. I will dress up like Veer Savarkar ji every day, and I feel proud of it. आपको क्यों डर लगता है? अफजल गुरु के भाई हैं आप. आपको क्यों डर लगता है? आपको क्यों डर लगता है? Arnab, it is my right. It is my right to eulogize Veer Savarkar ji and all his daring deeds.
Which is why
are they so scared?
To accept him
why
as
are they scared of Veer Savarkar ji's legacy coming out?
The Independence Day of
no,
my
you
country.
have a problem.
My ideal
do
will
I
be
tell
Bhagat
you
Singh.
how
Did
to
Bhagat
dress
Singh
up?
ask for a mercy
Do
petition?
I tell you
Somebody is
to
talking
wear
about a
specs or
particular
not?
format.
Topi लगाए, दाढ़ी रखे, I don't.
Format?
You have
Why
no
did
right to
Statue
dictate
Dawda
any
use that
terms to me.
mercy
And
petition
Arnab, I will
format? I want to ask.
end by saying one thing.
I only want to
You
ask
know,
that.
when we put up posters of Veer Savarkar ji in certain areas, they say these are Muslim-dominated areas. What is this? They will tell us who our heroes would be.
Exactly.
They will dictate the areas where we can put these posters.
Government was playing
Is this democracy?
Sir, your plan is totally exposed.
क्या पॉलिटिक्स क्या बोलते रहते हैं आप? कुछ पता है आपको? बीच में वो रट्टू तोते की तरह बोलते रहते हैं.
You want to downsize the Mahatma. You want to downsize Mahatma Gandhi because you stand for Hindutva ideology. Savarkar himself has said that he cunningly came out to promote Hindutva. He never stood for
I just want to say this, that if you were to please allow me, please, if you allow me, I now want to bring in PKD. I want to bring in PKD and Tausif into the debate, one versus one, and our panelist, Mr. Vikraman, spoke about Ambedkar. Just 1 minute, Yogesh, you want to make a comment? Okay, Yogesh, go ahead. Yogesh wants to intervene. Has been quiet for 25 minutes. Yes, Yogesh.
जो सावरकर जी
बोलिए
सावरकर जी को जो कॉवर्ड बोलते हैं, कॉवर्ड कहते हैं, उनको मुझे एक कहना है कि इस देश को स्वतंत्र होने के बाद भी सावरकर जी को जेल में डाला था बेलगांव में, क्योंकि पाकिस्तान का प्राइम मिनिस्टर लियाकत अली भारत में आने वाला था. इसलिए तो कॉवर्ड कौन हुआ, सावरकर जी या नेहरू गवर्नमेंट?
मैं आपको एक
कॉवर्ड थी या सावरकर जी?
योगेश जी
करने के बाद भी 13 महीने की जेल की थी उन्होंने.
Okay, Tausif is responding. Tausif, make your point, then I'll come.
इसके बारे में बताइए फिर.
Nobody stops the fundamentalist and radicals like the panelist who was speaking before me to have his own views of hero, have his own definition of hero and coward. But the world knows, our country knows, that Savarkar wrote mercy petitions and repeated mercy petitions and letter of apologies to the British and brought disgrace to the national movement, national freedom movement, that rest of the sons of soil have given their life for.
Arnab ji, उसके बारे में मुझे
I want to tell you this. I wish to tell you viewers. I wish to correct a few things. Just 1 minute, please. 1 minute, please. Yogesh ji, आप मुझे जरा मौका दें. Yogesh ji. Thank you very much. And I'm asking for PKD on one side, PKD on one side, and Tausif on the other. Thank you. PKD on one side and Tausif on the other. And Tausif, I am asking for PKD and Sabir, please, on the other. Thank you so much. See, Sabir and PKD. History is written for a political reason very often. And PKD, we know the reality that Nehru was a very insecure individual. He was insecure of Netaji, he was insecure of Savarkar, and the fact is, Ambedkar was mentioned here by Vikraman. Ambedkar did not want Savarkar prosecuted in the Godse case. Nehru wanted to fix Savarkar. Despite Nehru's attempts, Savarkar was acquitted. But who wanted to fix Savarkar? It was Nehru. Who was opposed to this? Ambedkar. Ambedkar knew Savarkar's greatness. These are certain historical realities that I think it needs to be corrected. I would say with even greater fervor, we now need to celebrate Savarkar nationally. What do you think, PKD?
Of course, yes. I think the one thing is very clear. Today in this panel, most of the people who were...
Dennis
I think this person...
let PKD complete, please.
They had nothing got to do with Nehru ji.
My dear friend, can I speak at least? I mean, there is some kind of a decency you can maintain. You are saying that you are coming from the great Subhash Chandra Bose place. Just have some decency. I'm only saying one thing, that there are 2-3 standard dialogues. What I think you said, that the 53-year-old university, the people who debate and come and give history talk to all of us, is coming from the 53-year-old person's university. It is very evident today. There are only 2 statements: mercy petition, double nation theory. May I ask this to the wonderful well-read history people, that in 1876, when the Veer Savarkar was not even born, the Syed Ahmad Khan has already placed the double nation theory in front of everybody.
No, about the two-nation theory, PKD, I also want to bring in Shantanu quickly because he's been quiet. The fact is that the Congress said that Veer Savarkar wanted the two-nation theory, but the reality is that the Hindu Mahasabha had opposed any notions of dividing India as per British ideas. It is the Congress which accepted the 3rd June plan, which ultimately led to partition. So Nehru was responsible for partition. Shantanu, that's the reality.
Arnab, I think you already said in so many words. Savarkar wanted a combined India. He vouched for it, and that's why he opposed Gandhi and Nehru till the last moment. He wanted a combined India, and we know how India was divided. And this communist history has worked day by day to discredit Savarkar. On the Ambedkar, I just want to quote: after coming out of the jail, he was confined in Ratnagiri for till 1937. And what he did lot of caste annihilation movement. He made the Dalit enter the temple. And what Ambedkar said about, exactly I'm quoting verbatim, I, however, wish to take this opportunity to convey my appreciation for you, Mr. Savarkar. Untouchability should be removed in India. You are one of the few leaders who have realized it. I'm quoting Dr. Ambedkar on the temple entry movement of Dalits.
Intolerance towards others' views will take the country nowhere. We need to be tolerant, we need to be accepting, and we need to realize the contribution of people like Savarkar, people like Netaji to our independence movement and to what India is today. Viewers, on the other side, I also believe that what's been going on in the Bilkis case is unacceptable, because the appeasement of rapists and murderers is unacceptable. The nation is shocked by the felicitation of Bilkis Bano's rapists. I say no appeasement, no sparing rape convicts. Let's debate. On the other side, few minutes.
Amity has been ranked India's #1 private university for the 10th year by India Today, a testimony to Amity's world-class education whilst imbibing values and sanskars in students.
आग को फैलने से रोकना मुश्किल है, पर नामुमकिन नहीं। अब फायरवॉल टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम आग से बचाए।
Enroll in any of REVA's wide range of courses designed to take on an evolving education and an expanding future. REVA University.
आग को फैलने से रोकना मुश्किल है, पर नामुमकिन नहीं। अब फायरवॉल टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम आग से बचाए।
As part of the ongoing strategic dialogue, the NSA Ajit Doval visited Moscow for talks with Secretary of the Russian Security Council. Apart from the bilateral cooperation, they discussed issues of regional and international interest. Ajit Doval also met the Russian Deputy Prime Minister. Two two-day regional conference to bring the government and citizens closer through various administrative reforms at the centre, state and district levels will start in Arunachal Pradesh's capital Itanagar today. Union Minister Jitendra Singh, along with Arunachal Pradesh Chief Minister Pema Khandu and Arunachal Pradesh Deputy CM, will inaugurate the two-day event. In a major crackdown, 2 gangsters were arrested in Amritsar's Jandiala in a cross-firing last night. The arrests come after they broke a checkpoint in Jandiala area. The police chased them for 11 kilometers. They fired at the police party all along and were later nabbed near the Vadala Jol drain. Furthermore, 2 kgs of heroin and 30-bore pistol were recovered. Eastern Air Commander Air Marshal D.K. Patnaik reviewed the operational preparedness of the Air Force Station Jorhat in Assam. The official Twitter handle of the Indian Air Force informed that the Eastern Air Commander Air Marshal inspected the premier transport aircraft base and the new facilities being created there. UP ATS arrested 2 Jaish-e-Mohammed terrorists. The terrorists were interrogated and the investigators of the ATS also recorded the answers of the terrorists word by word. Nadeem and Saifullah told the UP ATS how they made fake IDs and how they were taught to make fake IDs by the people of the terrorist organization. A vegetable vendor's daughter was shot at in Indrapura locality of near a police station in Patna. The injured girl, who was shot at in the neck, is undergoing treatment in a private hospital.